of Coffee with Yvonne, a digital series for creatives and entrepreneurs. Brought to you by My Layover Box. My Layover Box specials in curated gift boxes per destination to empower women to travel the world, have fun, and feel confident while connecting with those for those special moments. To learn more, visit My Layover Box on Instagram or visit their website at mylayoverbox.com. Today we're going to talk about getting real and telling your story by creating content that matters with one of my favorite people, Jasmine Smith. No, legit, I actually like her in real life. She is a YouTuber and founder of Pure Comm Co. and is today's special guest. And while we're going to talk about great things, we might go a little bit off topic, so it's okay. All right? So 3 things we're going to cover. Does authenticity still matter? How to connect with your audience, and creating valuable content. So grab your coffee and let's chat. Before we get started, I would like to formally introduce our guest. Jasmine, as I mentioned before, is one of my dearest friends. She's like my little sister in the marketing and digital space. She is actually a boss in real life as well. The owner. I said owner because it's legal. The owner of her own company, Pure Comm Co. She specializes in helping entrepreneurs, businesses, creatives, and influencers really figure out what their voice is and storytelling in a correct and concise way to make sure that that content translates well across digital markets. So, what I want to make sure that you know is Jasmine not only does that, but she also works full-time. So like a lot of us who are 9-to-5preneurs, Jasmine manages to balance the demands of her business while creating content not just for her own YouTube channel, but also for herself on her own digital platforms, as well as other companies that she partners with. So, I would like to formally introduce again and welcome Jasmine.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Was that better?
That was great.
That was great?
That was great.
I didn't read from the paper.
I know, that's why I flowed.
It came from the word.
Right there, deep there.
Right there. Okay, so Jasmine, because, I can't remember everything on paper all the time.
And that's fine. We'll wing it.
We're going to wing it? Okay.
Wing it.
So I got questions, though. I prepared.
Okay.
The first question. This is going to be fun today, y'all. The first question. As someone who works in social media, managing content, and develops her own content, like I mentioned, for her YouTube channel, do you think authenticity is still valuable for building an audience, especially with people creating content geared at showing fantasy versus reality?
Wow, that's a pretty deep question for the first question. But short answer, yes. I think it's important, especially with everyone's differing opinions of social media, the good, the bad, the ugly, how showing up authentically, you really get to curate and foster an actual environment of people that either love, like, support you, but also you like, love, and support them. I think we forget that social media is to be social, and not only are you meant to be social on social media, but it's a mutual beneficial relationship. I follow you because you pour into me in this way, and I support you because you support me. It's a shared exchange of likes, comments, thoughts, and ideas. And so if you take out the authenticity of it, then you're left with just fluff, and you're left with propaganda, and you're continuously perpetuating this belief that, social media is terrible, when I know that's an opinion and that's valid because there are, ugly sides to everything. But so far in my experience, I've seen amazing opportunities come from social media.
For a complex question, you gave a really non-complex answer. So you see what I mean? She knows what she's talking about.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, she knows what she's talking about. She do this. Okay,
I do that. Yes.
She does this. I've heard people say social media shows a snapshot of your life and isn't real. Do you think this is also true? And also, 2-part question. Okay. Can people really show who they are on these platforms, or is it truly their representative?
I love this question because I think as a content creator, I pick and choose and I decide what I show. I think you can be authentic and you can be real in a way that's still protecting some parts of yourself. So for example, if you follow my pages, I'm a believer. I love family. I love my church. I love the work that I do. I love my YouTube channel. I love makeup. And I'm sharing that. And that's very authentic to who I am. but you may not see who I may or may not be dating. You may not see some of the things that I choose to do offline, because there are parts of me that I like to keep private. There are parts of me that I like to feel like it's just between me and this person, or me and my friends, and it's very sacred. And so I think there's a very fine line of how much content you share with people and how much access you give to people. So I don't think it's just highlight reels. I do think people tend to choose the best versions of themselves, and that's their prerogative. But it's not necessarily putting on a persona, but really it's just showing and deciding how much access you want to share with your audience. Because, you know, the internet is a very fragile place, and people put things out there that tends to be backlash, or they show too much of themselves and no one really asks for it. So I think to each person individually, you have to decide what you will and will not share, and what does that look like for you.
I think sometimes people make the mistake of using social media as their own personal diary.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to know
especially
that
on Twitter. Twitter's a journal.
Twitter, I go on Twitter every day, and I'm always entertained by the tweets on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I've seen people make the mistake of putting out their personal business about, you know, the relationships.
Yeah.
You know, they can't stand this person or that person, and they actually put it out there, and then are surprised when we're like 3 weeks later, y'all still together?
Mm-hmm.
That's not the story I followed 3 weeks ago. Like, it has to be some kind of way that you make sure you're being authentic without, like Jasmine said, basically telling all of your business. Because it's not everyone's business to know your full life on these social platforms. It's okay to show the resume version of yourself, if that makes sense. You know, for example, I have Pink Dollhouse Marketing on Instagram, but on my personal IG, you see me out there at brunch, having fun, you know, being myself. But I know the boundaries of what I share on that platform, because people still watch that as well.
I think that's the reality of what we, you know, who we are. We're very complex people. We're complex beings. And so, you know, same thing. Like, I have my business account separated from my personal account, but on my business account, you'll see me talk about business from the entrepreneurial standpoint. Like, I am the owner, I am the founder, I am...
What a flex.
I am this person, and I'm juggling client load. So I'll share insights of, you know, gosh, I feel burnt out. I posted about that like 2-3 days ago. You know, I do feel burnt out, and this is how I'm learning to just put some taxes and boundaries in place. Same thing on my personal. You will see on my Instagram stories me at brunch, because a girl loves a bottomless mimosa.
We're in the DMV area. It's part of our culture here.
You know, you'll see that. You might see me smoking hookah, but you'll also see me at church, because I'm not either or. I'm both and it's. I think sometimes knowing that and understanding that helps kind of clear up that misconception around, well, I thought you was just this, or I thought you was just that. Like, that's a part of me, but I'm very much a multifaceted, multi-layered person. And how I choose to share that is okay.
Let's go to the next questions. What are some suggestions from your personal perspective and also your professional perspective you can give to someone who's looking to connect with their audience and build their reach on social? Now, mind you, Jasmine, we came into social media when it was still a baby. When you could actually...
I miss early Instagram days sometimes.
Me too. When you could actually post on Instagram and have your feed actually showing the content you want to follow, right? But now with algorithms and paid content, it's a super complex space that if you don't have the right content, it may never be seen by anyone. So what are some of your tips that you would give? What's the Jasmine brand scene up here?
Okay. This is a loaded question.
Okay, 5 tips. How about that?
Okay, 5 tips. Okay. And this is on creating content? Creating
content, and then also connecting with your audience to build your reach.
Okay, God, that's hard. It's tricky. Okay. First tip. I like this tip, but I also don't like it because everyone talks about this tip. So it's talked about because it's true. Be consistent. I think that I hate saying that because I hate saying that so much.
It's true though. It's very true.
It's true, but I really think that, you know, if you're starting out or you're launching a new business brand or, you know, persona or whatever that might be, be consistent. I think sometimes we start off, and I also have this problem where I'll like have a vision, I'm like hit the ground running, and then 3 weeks, maybe a month, and I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing this no more. Dang it, I had to post again. So to that point, you want to think of a schedule that makes sense for you if you're managing by yourself, but be consistent. You know, maybe you post 3 times a week on Instagram, you do maybe a couple of IG lives or reels or whatever, and you just stick to that. I think the consistency is where the magic happens. So one, be consistent. Two, have fun. I think if it feels like it's too much of an obligation or a job, we don't learn to love it, and we kind of get a little disgruntled. So have fun, and I think you should never feel stupid for putting yourself out there or awkward, but like the only way you'll know is if you do it. So you gotta test and try, and it's trial and error. Have fun. I think if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. That is a value code. That's a quote. Y'all might see that somewhere because it's a quote. It's a quote. It's a quote.
It's a quote.
It's a
notebook?
quote.
Is that a notebook?
It's probably gonna be a notebook.
I'm here for a notebook.
I'm here for a notebook.
Yes, I'm here for that. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sorry. This is what we do. So yeah, I think have fun with it. I think practically you need to understand your audience, and if you are like a lifestyle beauty influencer, or you're aspiring to do something in that realm, for example, understand who you're trying to talk to. Like for me, when I'm on my YouTube page, I'm talking specifically to Black women, or really women in general, who don't know or don't like to wear makeup, but if they ever wanted to start wearing makeup, they can come to my content and they can find tips, easy looks they can apply for, affordable products they can shop with. So I have a very specific persona that I'm talking to when I'm doing my makeup videos. Same thing with our clothing. Like, I'm full figured, so I don't dress to talk to the people who are tinier than me.
Yes.
My channel and my content is geared towards people who got butt, boobs, and a stomach. Like, if you got all three, we gotta figure it out. We have
the BBL package, right? By nature.
So nature's harvest, like packaging. Like, we need to have that conversation. So, that's what I have in my mind. I have the dark-skinned girl in my mind who didn't feel pretty, but now I'm doing makeup for her. So I have very specific people that I think about when I'm creating content. You kind of get to build a different level of community when you're that more specific. Are we on number 4? I think so.
Okay, what's number 4?
Number 4, I might just have 4 tips. I feel like
I'm
running out of. I'm like, do I have anything else?
It's fine.
Okay, so we said be consistent. Mm-hmm. Have fun.
Yeah.
Know your audience.
Please know your audience.
I think number 4, we don't talk enough about this, but understand your metrics. And so I bring that up.
Talk about that insights part on Instagram they're not paying attention to.
I think that's important. So depending on the platform you are on, we'll stick to Instagram, for example. But the insights, the data tells a story. And so, you could be pushing content out and you're like, no one's seeing it, but if you don't look at your insights, you won't know why, or you won't know that you're actually reaching the different audience. Like, you're trying to talk to John Doe, who's 40 and a dad, and he works 20 years in his career
based in Wisconsin,
but you're getting a lot of traffic and traction from Tom, who just graduated from college and is looking for how to start his career
out in Santa Barbara.
Very different people, but your insights tell that. So once you know your insights and you know your metrics, you understand that'll help you better gauge the content you create, how to reach the people that you're trying to reach, and then you have these outliers that are in this content bucket, and you can be like, oh, now this is a whole separate audience. Like, I don't have to do either or, I can do both and, but now I know how to better target those individual people.
Right.
So you can get John and you can get Tom, and now you can think strategically on how to reach them at the same. So insights are very important.
Yes.
We don't talk enough about it, but know your data. And Instagram and other platforms tell you, this is men, women, demographically,
what time they're on
region,
social,
what time they're on social, which helps in for how much, when you should post. Like, there are certain things that you get from the data, and if you don't know your data, then you're aimlessly trying to reach people, and you're shooting a moving target. So,
and by the way, y'all, the target always changes because social media updates itself.
Listen,
almost every week there's something new. It's
literally
something new.
Literally.
And all the people who work in the marketing, the digital content space were like, really? Again? I just got used to this.
Like, perfect example, and I just saw this yesterday, and I was like, I'm so glad I didn't even think to use this. And I didn't even know what to talk about.
I know what you're Go ahead.
So, Twitter had fleets, which was their bootleg version of Instagram stories.
It was not good.
Came out a year ago, and...
Was it a year?
Yeah, just about a year.
I never posted.
Yeah, it came out a year ago. Well, that's because it's been a pandemic, so nobody's focused on fleets when they're trying to like go in and outside.
The Panda Express did kind of keep us locked down.
It definitely kept us busy. So
True.
They came up with fleets and had it for less than a year, and now they're getting rid of it. And so those who are in the marketing field, like, we're trying to figure out how to add this into the strategy. You know, how do we incorporate fleets? How do we reach our audience? And now it's gone. So I'm really glad I never even attempted. I never participated in it.
No,
but that's because I know my audience,
right?
And my audience is not gonna click on these fleets.
Exactly.
They're gonna actually click on Instagram stories.
They will click.
So find me on Instagram.
Oh my gosh, we're almost at our last questions. Okay.
Aww.
With so many platforms, and you know there's a lot of them, Jasmine. How can someone identify the best platform for them? And well, you already shared this a little bit, but what tools would you suggest using? And they could be editing content tools, they could be data tools. So what is your suggestion?
Okay, a lot of platforms out there. So
like, what's your top 3?
Oh, easily Instagram, in order: Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Really?
I know. I
did not think LinkedIn was gonna make top 3.
I'm not sure why. I mean, I know why, but I don't like Facebook. Is just there.
I keep that so family will, you know, stay out of my business.
Yeah, and I really like I refuse. I personally refuse to go into the rabbit hole that is TikTok. So I have an account on TikTok, but I haven't posted. I am gonna incorporate it into my business stuff.
Okay.
But personally, I just can't do another app right now. Like, my brain is mentally like, hey sis, focus on what you gotta focus on. We'll catch up with y'all later. So I love TikTok, but I always hear, you know, I looked up and 6 hours have passed. I don't have time for that.
But it's funny on there. It's very entertaining.
It is fun, and I think there's like all these new like hack. Like, I want to get into TikTok, but I just don't want to be overwhelmed by TikTok.
That makes
sense. That's what happened with Clubhouse.
Yep.
Like, I got
excited.
Hold on,
moment of silence for Clubhouse.
It's still, people still.
Moment of silence for Clubhouse. Moment of silence. Thank you.
Some people are still using the Clubhouse.
The app that evolved in the pandemic it's not.
Now, granted, I liked it, but
I did too.
I got in there and I was like in a rabbit hole of Clubhouse. Like,
yes,
hours and hours and hours would go by, and I'm like in rooms. And I'm working. I'm in rooms. I'm like, this is before like you got in trouble from screen recording. Like, I was screen recording conversations so I can like listen. I wanted to keep the notes because I couldn't write fast enough. Like,
that's true.
I was like, hey, come back. Instagram, absolutely. I love Instagram. Follow me. I follow back. Like, I love Instagram, hands down. Twitter is where I go.
Is the OG.
Twitter's my like OG.
I love Twitter.
I get my news. I get the tea.
I watch TV with Twitter.
Like, we have community like
we
conversations.
Do. Yes.
Like,
we're tweeting each other like, "Are you watching? I don't see you on my feed." Like,
I mean, Twitter is amazing, especially Black Twitter is amazing. That's a real thing. It's very much.
By the way, there's no invite to Black Twitter. Black Twitter finds you.
Yeah.
And once it finds you,
welcome to the family.
Welcome
to
the
memes. Inside.
Welcome to the GIFs. Like, welcome.
It's so good. It's so good.
What other thing is with tools. So I use different editing tools. You know, I love InShot, Ricky. I actually love my iPhone for photo editing tools because iPhone photo editing has improved over the years.
Like the photo filters in the camera?
Yeah, the photo filters, how you can zoom in, zoom out, all of it. But what are some of your favorite tools for creating content, editing content? Like, what do you love?
Yeah, so... Especially
as a YouTuber, too.
Yeah, so I'll be really honest. My YouTube channel, I film on my phone. I don't have a camera yet.
What a flex.
I'm saving up. I was like, I'm not going to put all this money down when I know what I'm doing. So... I film all of my things on my iPhone. So because of that, I always have the latest iPhone. Like, I'm that girl that gets upgrades every time.
That makes sense now.
And I'm okay with that. I've been that way, and that's my bougie, and I'm fine with it. So I have the iMovie app, so I can edit there. I have InShot. I like, what's it called? Actually, I can tell you.
Oh, tell us. Tell the people.
Because if you don't know, I'm filming right now. So
it's fine. And we're actually, to give you an idea, too, what she means about filming on Apple products, Coffee with Yvonne is filmed on my iPad mini. Quality of the camera still.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I use InstaSize for like for filters and things. InShot, we talked about Mojo, Canva app, WordSwag for like some of the word graphics that I like for text. Unsplash is a free photo app for photos. So if you just want stock images, you have Unsplash. And then there's this app called, I think it's Unfold, is where if you ever watch my Instagram stories and I'm promoting a new video, I get like all these cool layouts and like I can add video and standalone photos and all this stuff. So some of them are paid. Most of the versions I have are paid because you might as well just invest. It's an investment. For content management, I use Later to schedule my content. That might be it.
I actually like the apps for scheduling content. To me are amazing, but sometimes if you're working with smaller businesses and nonprofits that don't have those platforms, I use the old school tool, Google Excel sheets, to create content calendars.
And I will say to that, if you're a small business owner or you don't have you don't feel like paying for third-party scheduling tools, more often than not, now you can schedule within the app itself. So with Twitter, you can, if you're on the web browser, you can schedule your tweets. In Twitter, Facebook has Facebook Studio, so you can schedule your Facebook and your Instagram through there. These apps really want you to use their platforms to schedule and like push all your content. So if you're not interested in a third party, then you can always schedule in the app itself.
Yes, you just have to make sure you allow some time to do all of that.
Yeah.
Because scheduling, you want to make sure it's right, your copy is right. Because once it goes live, it's
there.
It's there. And you don't want to be that person scrambling to fix something that a bunch of people have already screenshot. So
that's a great
last question. I hear this a lot and everyone is concerned about doing it. Say you go viral on social from a tweet, a TikTok, IG post, or reel. What should you do and how can you capitalize on the exposure?
That's a great question. I have not gone viral yet. At least I don't think I have. Like, no, I have not.
You have not?
I haven't gone viral yet. Whew. Those that I do know that have gone viral, I think I'm not the kind of person where I like to say, once you have this long feed of people, you're like, oh, go buy from here, go shop here. Like, that's like a weird time to like plug yourself. I think a more authentic way would be like, if say you go viral, you get this big mass wave of followers. I think the next most authentic step would be to introduce yourself to the new people. Like, hey, I got a lot of new followers recently. My name is Jasmine. I'm a beauty, lifestyle, faith YouTuber. I run a business doing this. Like, it doesn't have to feel salesy. I feel like I see a lot of people who do go viral and it just instantly becomes, oh, well, check my link, plug me here. And it's like, that's not even why I'm here. So I don't even want to follow you at this point. Being viral, to me, it feels like it's time and opportunity that meet. I think you can't really plan to go viral. So I think the ability to go viral would have been because you've been consistent. And so without being consistent, I don't think how you're going to go viral. So in my mind, you've already been just doing the work, and it just was like luck and preparation, opportunity that just kind of met at the right time in the right place. So because of that, people can come to your page and see more of what you've done in the past, and they can just look forward to what you're going to do in the future.
Like Jasmine said, I've known people who've gone viral, and it's just all the simplest tweet I've seen. It was like, really? And then
meanwhile, I'm tweeting, I'm like, nobody sees all this good stuff over here?
And then for me, one time, like, for example, I have this one tweet. I was tweeting during the Super Bowl, and it was a Jake.
That's right. You went viral. She ain't talking about, I don't know why you asking me this question.
Because
you went viral.
You're an expert for today.
No, ma'am. You're the one that went viral.
Anyway, I got this.
She went viral.
I had this one tweet that went viral. Not even on Twitter. It went viral on another platform because it's my platform, I'll say it. The Shade Room took my tweet, screenshotted it, posted it on their Instagram feed, and did not tag me. I did not find out until other people were DMing me like crazy, like, you're on the Shade Room. And I'm thinking, what am I on the Shade Room for?
Because nobody want to be on the Shade Room by choice.
No.
Why am I here?
And then so that one tweet went on the Shade Room, and then other popular platforms started to share it, and again did not tag me. So what I did is I went in the comments and said, hey, thank you for sharing my tweet. Make sure you tag me. Of course it did not, but at least people know who own the content. Yeah. Because sometimes platforms will do that. They'll share your content but not give you credit. And then
that's rude.
It is rude.
That's
and then you're
not
trying to
nice.
figure out who's the originator, and other people have pretty much spawned off of your one tweet or your one content, and they don't know who you are.
Especially because, like, you know, for anyone watching, you're probably like, well, it's your tweet, so your profile is there, but there are people who crop, cut, and get just the meat of the post, and then will take you out of it. So that's a really good point that you brought up. Like, hey, that's me. Hey, run me my money. Send me my check.
That's fine. I even have a bookmark section in my IG. Don't make fun of me. That one time I was Instagram famous, and I actually keep the tweets.
As you should.
When my tweet went viral.
You're more viral than me, girl. I be out here. I can get a couple hundred sometimes. I'm like, oh, that was nice.
When I get 15, I say, oh, 15 people
right,
like what?
right, man.
Oh my gosh. So we have actually reached the end of our show. I know, it was so quick, but so many gems were dropped. You were not expecting that,
Nope, I was not.
Nope. So many gems were dropped during this episode. If you want to learn more about my business, Pink Dollhouse Marketing, check out my website, pinkdollhousemarketing.com, or follow my business page on Instagram, business page. You can slide into my DMs at Pink Dollhouse Marketing. And Jasmine, once you take your sip of your coffee, please tell them where they can find you on the socials.
Wow. Always happens when I'm like,
it always happens.
Sip. No, but you guys can follow my business page. It's at Pure Comm Co. So PureCommco. You can also follow my personal page, which is J Katrina Smith. So JKatrina Smith SMITH. That's on Instagram, Twitter. I'm there the most. So follow, tweet, I'll talk back. I love meeting new people and engaging with you guys. So thank you for having me. Yeah. I'm not going to end this without saying thank you. So thank you. And thank you guys for watching.
Thank you so much again to our sponsor for the season 2 of Coffee with Yvonne, My Layover Box. To learn more about them, visit mylayoverbox.com or follow them on Instagram at mylayoverbox. I hope to see you soon for another coffee and chat with you soon. Bye.